Hello, everyone. First of all, I would like to uh, greet you all and thank God for this uh, experience I've just had uh, to take care of my health. And I really thank God for so much goodness, so many prayers, so much support that I have received from so many. And I thought I would, well, continue to try to give this little contribution about the Sunday Gospels. Well, my dad was a keen bird trapper. When I was a little child, this was not just a pastime, but a respected tradition. We were used to having birds and turtle doves in cages all around the house because dad was so dedicated to these birds, feeding, changing the drinking water, cleaning the cages. He loved these birds that he trapped with so much dedication. But he loved us, his children, much more than the birds. Every now and then, he would pick one of the poor birds, clip off some feathers from the wings so that they would not be able to fly off. And like that, we could play with them without them flying away out of our reach. We were so happy, of course, even if the poor birds were not that happy. Birds are born to fly and not to have their wings clipped to become children's toys. You see, God created us, His children, to fly, to be free, not just to crawl aimlessly around with clipped wings so that He can play around with us more easily. And this is the good news that Jesus came to announce. This is the freedom that Jesus had. He became one of us to help us discover and enjoy this great gift of His own freedom. In today's Gospel, we see Jesus in His own hometown, Nazareth, addressing His fellow townspeople gathered in the synagogue. They knew Him since He was a child there. And He starts His speech with a bang. The Spirit of the Lord is on me because He has anointed me to proclaim the good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim freedom for the prisoners, recovery of sight for the blind, to set the oppressed free, proclaim a year of grace of the Lord. It's all about freedom. We must remember that the year of grace he speaks about was the year when, periodically, all those who were still bound with pending debts and obligations were freed, absolved from them. The good news Jesus proclaimed to us: you can fly. You are born to be free. But as they say, there is no good news without the bad news. The people of Nazareth were enchanted by Jesus. Finally, here is one of ours who is famous, who is powerful. He, he is the one who is going to make our lives easy. Do here in your hometown the things that we have heard you were doing in Capernaum, which was the rival town. Free us from our pains. Solve our problems. You are one of us, so we have a right to have more benefits and privileges than the others. Well, they saw Jesus a little bit or much like a successful politician returning to his native village. His friends and families gathered around him claiming favors, privileges. You're one of us. How hard it is for us to accept Jesus for his own sake and not some kind of powerful person who is useful because he will make our lives easier. How hard it is for us poor humans not to love more what we can get out of God than to love Him just for His own sake. Jesus uncovers and exposes this natural but selfishly distorted motives. Like us, when as little children we wanted to clip the bird's wings so we can play with them, when, where, and how we wanted. The people of Nazareth wanted Jesus to play their game, to satisfy their needs, cure their illnesses, make life easier for them, for free. They wanted to clip his wings. But Jesus would not play the game. He wanted to remain as free as a bird with unclipped wings. How could people accept a Savior who refused to play their game? So, from an admired and welcomed one of us, in today's gospel we see Jesus become very quickly rejected, dumped, eliminated as one who is a Savior who is useless for us. They were not ready to hear the bad news that freedom comes at a price. To fly, you need to be ready to die. There is no such thing as a free lunch. Freedom means sacrifice, effort, giving up on your own selfish and petty self-interests. It is for this kind of freedom that we have been created. And there is only one way to obtain and embrace this life-giving freedom. It's the way of love. Jesus came to announce and give witness to this saving truth. Love is the only key to real freedom. When we were still little helpless children in our weakness, our fragility, the love we experienced was the love of our parents who provided everything for us. We were on the receiving end of love. It is only when we grow up that we discover that what saves us is embracing the love we receive so that we can give it back as freely as we have received it. This makes us the mature spiritual adults we have been created to be. As Mother Teresa used to say so often, God so loved the world that he gave us his son Jesus. Then she would stop for a moment and continue, the giving. Whenever we experience the joy of giving, we rediscover how God created us to fly in total freedom. God gave us wings not made of feathers, but wings of love, so that each one of us can be a lovebird, flying freely from heart to heart. St. Paul describes so beautifully the heights of freedom we can attain with these God given, unclipped wings of love. Let us just stop to contemplate the words we have heard in the second reading. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is not jealous, not inflated, not rude, does not seek its own interests. It is not quick-tempered. It does not brood over injury, does not rejoice over wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails. When I was a child, I used to talk as a child, think as a child, reason as a child, and by I add, I used to love as a child. When I became a grown up, I put aside childish things. At present, I know partially. Then I shall know fully as I am fully known. So, what remains are faith, hope, and love. The greatest of these is love. It is simply the freedom of a bird that flies with fully fledged wings. God bless you.